Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Storyline Podcast. My name is Felecia. This is episode 9. I want to go ahead and get straight into this because this might be a little longer than normal if I don't hurry up. Let's talk about SummerSlam. We are going to get into SummerSlam 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday. There was a lot of wrestling again this week. We had Friday Night SmackDown, the 2 days of SummerSlam, and then Monday Night Raw. So let's go ahead and get into night 1. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso versus the Bronze. It was a good match. Roman was really showing his athleticism in this match, which we don't normally get, the Roman Reigns flying through the sky type of deals, but we got that on Saturday, and I was really happy to see it. This was a really strong match to me. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, they strong. They come off strong. They look strong. They have good chemistry. Again, Braun Breaker was not my favorite at the beginning, but I think that he is really starting to progress. And I can't wait to see what happens with this, especially Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker together. So we'll see. I don't know where they're going to go from here as far as that story is concerned, because I just feel like there's really not too many places they can go except for the road of Seth Rollins. That's where the road leads back to. It leads back to Seth. So we'll see how that goes. My pick for that match was Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Next was Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez from the Judgment Day. I did think that they would retain. I don't know if that's what I put on my card when I circled, but I did think that they would retain. But a part of me was thinking like it's time for that to be over. I've said this for weeks. Raquel will be a masterpiece by herself. And Roxanne's also good too. And I think that with that, it's time to do away with that. And I really hope that they write them a new story. I am really feeling the Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair "we're not friends" thing. Their chemistry is great. Charlotte Flair seems more pleasant in this space. So I'm glad that they are the new women's tag team champions. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. That match could have been on Raw or SmackDown or something like that. I don't think that it was something that was really necessary. Sami Zayn wins that match, as I knew that he would. Sami steals the crowd, but the crowd also wants Karrion Kross. But the beef between them is just not doing it for me. I like Karrion Kross and I like Sami Zayn, but I think it's again time to do away with that as well. I don't know when Karrion Kross's contract is up. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with him, and I hope that they don't release him at some point. I really want them to get him on a story that's good for him, and this Sami Zayn thing is not it. So that was a cool match. It's definitely not something that needed to be a part of SummerSlam, but it is what it is. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. I knew that they were not going to take that belt from Tiffany because Jade, as good as she is, she just does not. And y'all don't, y'all like to tussle and fight and talk shit, but as much as we love Jade, she's just not ready to be the champion. It takes, and we all know that it does take time. The progress is not overnight. They don't, there's a lot of botches, which again, all good, it happens. But I just don't feel like Jade is ready yet. Sometimes her in-ring sucks. Her promos suck. But she has the potential. And I seen somebody, and I commented on this on Instagram. Jade has the potential. She looks amazing. She demands a crowd. But sometimes it just drops. Like, I don't know what it is, but for me, I just don't think that she's ready for something like that. As time goes on, I feel like they need to book her better, and maybe she just, again, she needs more practice. When people start off, they need more practice, and she's not new. And I know starting off, I mean, years. Sometimes it takes years for people to become the best version of themselves. So why do we expect less out of a character? So I knew Tiffany was not, they weren't going to take that belt from Tiffany. Jade is a fantastic wrestler. She just needs work, and she does have the potential to be great. Next was Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul versus Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. This match was entertaining. Logan Paul, like I keep saying, Logan Paul is entertaining as hell. And I think Drew McIntyre's personality and what he brings, just that, the personality, it was a fun match. Jelly Roll, Randy Orton, Jelly Roll acting like he couldn't go on. It was good. I picked Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul to win. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul did win. And I did kind of want to see Jelly Roll and Randy Orton win, but we know that Jelly Roll he's not going to be able to be there all the time. So Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, definitely, they all gave us a show. It was good. Cool. Oh, and then we move on to the main event of the first night of SummerSlam. CM Punk defeats Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I love CM Punk. And as I think back to Saturday when I'm sitting there and I am, when the bell ding ding ding, your winner, CM Punk. I talked about this. People thought Seth was going to come. We really got played, but I'll talk about that after I talk about CM Punk's 5 minutes of being a world heavyweight champion. CM Punk wins. He defeats Gunther. Gunther's bleeding from supposed to be his nose, but it looked like it was coming from his head. Whatever. Good match. Gunther fought hard. CM Punk fought hard. It was good. CM Punk wasn't letting up. Gunther was beating his ass. But we get to the end of the match, belt in hand, dramatics, emotions, tears, all of that. Happy. Burn it down. Okay, cool. We hear Burn It Down. Seth comes out, on the crutches or whatever the little things are. He comes out, I'm like, okay, nothing's about to happen because he's hurt. Oh, he's really hurt. I see that. I think, for me, I thought, he was going to run out, cash in. As he turns around and drops those crutches and cashes in on CM Punk after 5 minutes of him being the world heavyweight champion, you guys could not ever tell me that wasn't a master fucking mind plan. You cannot tell me that Seth Rollins is not up there. Seth Rollins gets it easy because Seth Rollins plays the game. That's it. Seth Rollins plays that shit. Plays it. Cashes in, immediately pins Punk, and becomes the new world heavyweight champion. As hurt as I am for CM Punk because he deserves it. He does. The story is phenomenal. 5 minutes, world heavyweight champion. Seth cashes in after pretending to be hurt, even staying in character outside with his wife and his kids. His kid, I'm sorry. Everything we're seeing, if we see Seth, he's on crutches. His wife, on her Instagram, he's on crutches. He's hurt. We're concerned. He is not really hurt, and he played us all. That shit was crazy to me. When he originally got hurt, the next day he was on podcast, and I was like, that's weird. But the thing that stood out to me and made me question the fact that if he was hurt for real or not was when he went to get an MRI, and it was that there was so much swelling that they couldn't see anything. Isn't that what an MRI? Isn't that what that's supposed to do? Get the fuck out of here! But that shit was crazy. Again, hurt for CM Punk, but that shit was phenomenal. And y'all cannot say that Seth Rollins storylines aren't fucking fantastic. We may not like him that much because he takes like shit like this happens. But Seth Rollins has had some of the greatest storylines. And y'all can't convince me of any different. If you ask me, if you have your own Mount Rushmore, which we all have our own, Seth Rollins, if he's not on it, he is close. Wrestling, why y'all gotta just think like everything ain't about the actual in-ring abilities. It's the ability to tell a story. It's the ability to execute a story and stay focused on a story. As to how many stories we've seen him stay focused on, ridiculous. Shout out to Seth Rollins. He's doing an amazing job. And shout out to CM Punk for still holding on and doing an amazing job, even when the shit, like, sucks. Night 2. I was tired by this time. I was real tired. I actually, I'm going to be honest, I fell asleep a couple times during the Punk and Gunther match. I was dozing off, so I had to sit up. It was long. Night 2. I kept kind of gazing off into the light because I just was tired. Naomi defeating Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. I was not expecting anything less than that. She retained. That's it. I don't have anything else for that one. I was happy. Naomi came out with her dad. That shit was tight too. I'm good. TLC match. As much as I thought that the Street Profits would get the tag team titles back, they did not. The Wyatt Six retained. Still not my favorite, but it is what it is, and whatever. Becky versus Lyra Valkyria. Becky defeats Lyra Valkyria, Women's Intercontinental Championship. No disqualifications. So with this match, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Having Becky brutally take down Lyra Valkyria and it lasts for that long and just her just going at Lyra while she can't do anything. I think matches like that, for me, they get boring because we're just constantly we're not seeing an actual match. We're just seeing somebody get their ass whooped over and over and over and over and over. Anyway, Becky wins. It is what it is. It is what it is. I believe that Lyra can't, I don't think Lyra can, go for the Women's Intercontinental Championship anymore, while Becky Lynch is the holder of it because of her losing the last match, that just happened because of Bayley. Anyway, moving on to the worst match of the night. Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. Solo defeats Jacob for the U.S. Championship title in a steel cage match. That shit was the weakest shit I've ever seen. I don't even understand half of the shit that was happening. They hung fucking Jacob Fatu up by some cuffs. We turned around, the cuffs were in two pieces. They had the MFT. It was not even chaotic. It was just not what it should have been. I was so hyped up about that match because I'm like, yeah, they'll probably bring out somebody good. And not saying Jimmy ain't good. Jimmy came out. It did not do what it was supposed to do. That match could have been 50 times better. I definitely was so disappointed in that. Um, that's what it is for that. Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Dom retains. I do not know why. I feel like I don't know what's up. I don't have a think piece or thought process on why Dom keeps retaining. Um he did do, some little shady distractions like Eddie Guerrero. And that was fun to watch. It was fun to watch, but Dom retains. Then moving on to the main event of night 2. Cody Rhodes defeats John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship in a street fight. Uh, the match was good. Cody, that match was good. I am not a big fan of John Cena's wrestling right now. It's just sometimes it just doesn't work out in my head for me. I just don't like it. When they say you can't wrestle, I wholeheartedly believe that right now John Cena cannot wrestle. That's the end of that for me. Y'all don't need to send me no messages and tell me nothing because I'm still gonna feel the same way. But in all, it was a great match. Cody defends John Cena. He's now the undisputed WWE champion again. And I'm okay with that. I knew he would get the championship back eventually. And, it is what it is. They hugged it out at the end. And then Brock Lesnar returns. S5 Cena. And that's what it is. For this segment, I am going to close with Brock Lesnar shit. I know that y'all love Brock Lesnar. Y'all love Brock Lesnar. He's not brand new. He is one of those people where there's a lot of people who await his return. But understand this. Brock Lesnar was cleared by the WWE legal team, not by the court. That's it. His name appears several times in the allegations, and it's still an active legal matter. So, going back and forth about it, Brock Lesnar was cleared by the WWE legal team. That's it. So, if that's good enough for y'all, cool. I'm never and probably never will be a Brock Lesnar fan. I don't give a fuck how long you've been watching wrestling. Just because you're a fan of somebody does not mean I need to be. And, sometimes I put morals into it. Like, okay, morally, I probably, you know what I mean? I'm not fucking with Brock Lesnar like that. But before that, before the allegations, I still wasn't fucking with Brock Lesnar. I used to get so pissed when he would just do 45 suplexes in a row and it was like the person couldn't even fucking stand up, which is the point. But it used to piss me off. And that's because I'm a fucking fan of wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, you telling me I'm not a fan because I don't like Brock Lesnar is fucking stupid. Me, personally, like I said, I'm not a fan of the 27 German suplexes and then the F5 and then we're done. And he wins every single match because of that. That's it. Like y'all said, he was cleared. He was not. He was cleared by the WWE. That's it. I don't have shit else to say about that. Y'all can cheer him on. Don't, whatever. That's it. That's all. Next, I'm going to talk about Unreal. At first, I was not a fan of the WWE releasing content about how things are done because I felt like that was going to take away from the authenticity of things that we feel when we're watching wrestling. Yes, we know that it is, it's scripted or fake or whatever you want to call it. I don't like using the word fake. It pisses me off when people say wrestling is fake. Scripted. However, it did make me respect the talent even more. The things that they go through, the stress that they put their bodies under to entertain us, you gotta give it to them. fake, scripted, whatever. From the moves, yes, we know the moves are scripted. We know that the everything's predetermined. We get it. But they are still hurting themselves physically, sometimes mentally, just to put on a show for us. Um, so I definitely loved seeing the business side of wrestling, and again, the predeterminations, and Triple H talking to each wrestler, and to me he's very positive towards them. You can do it. This is great. This is that. We're going to give you this opportunity. I think he's very positive to the talent from what we can see from Unreal. I don't know, we don't know what else goes on, but I think Triple H is very positive towards them. My respect for Chelsea Green definitely skyrocketed. That lady takes everything thrown at her, keeps pushing, and she definitely earns her keep in her space in the WWE. And sometimes, and now I wish they would use her just a little bit more, but at times we all have our times. For a minute, she was right there. She had the championship. She was good. Right now we don't see a lot of her. We see her, but we don't see a lot of her. But she definitely takes some ass whoopings and some bullshit. Shout out to Chelsea Green, man. Like, she's great. I finished I have the 2 more episodes to go. It's only 5 episodes. Is it 5 or 4? I'm gonna finish it tonight. One thing I don't recommend is you let your kids watch it. Not because it's got anything bad in it, but because just like Santa Claus, you don't want to ruin the reality for them. For my son, he thinks that shit is real. He's 8. He thinks the feuds are real. He's passionate about it. If he don't fuck with Logan Paul because Logan Paul did this to so and so, because he believes that he doesn't know that it's scripted. He doesn't know that it's predetermined. And that's okay for right now. I'm not going to take that away from him. And so, me and his dad decided that we will not be letting him watch Unreal, because that would take away that little space from him where he believes in something. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to give Unreal a solid 8.5. We still saw the stories. The stories remain the same for me. I still love them. And that's it. Raw this week. This week on Raw, we definitely saw Seth. He cashed in on Saturday. LA Knight and him had a match. CM Punk interfered. Disqualification happened. Roman Reigns came back out, stomped, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is the second fucking week that Bronson Reed stole Roman's shoes. The tribal thief, is that what it is? Yeah, that shit's wild. Stealing shoes off of people's feet and then calling yourself the tribal thief is crazy. I like it. It's corny, but I like it. Even though, I love Roman, but the tribal thief thing it's I like it. I'm a stick with it. I like it. Becky versus Becky and Nikki Bella. Whatever. Becky and Nikki Bella. Becky's hold on to that title. She doesn't want to face Nikki Bella. Okay. Flair and Bliss retain. Gunther is out indefinitely with facial injuries from SummerSlam. Yeah. I think that Raw was good. Again, wrestling Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Sometimes that shit can get crazy. You'll be sitting at home and you're like, yeah, I'm about to watch wrestling. And the second day, the third day, the fourth day, on Monday, I was like, I really want to watch this, but I really don't. But I did. It was good. It was good. Raw, I think the next few weeks will be really interesting as far as Raw and SmackDown. So I kind of can't wait. I'm glad I get a little break in between. I did not watch NXT yesterday. I did see Joe Hendry come out of the refrigerator. I'm not sure what that was about, but I will definitely go home and watch and see. I know AEW has, I think, is that tonight? Something like that. But, I'll catch up on the other things probably tomorrow. Well, yeah. There's how I feel about all of the events that have happened this week. The last thing that I want to get to is the IWC. It can be toxic, especially towards women. Now the way that men talk to women on the internet about wrestling and just in general is fucking disgusting. It's disrespectful. I want to understand why it's so hard to share a space. Why it's so hard to share space with women when it comes to wrestling. Like, why is that so hard? Like, I feel like at a point, why come you can't be the teacher? Why come we can't just have this vibe and disagree without you being disrespectful or just saying bullshit? We keep asking why there's this men versus women thing, but the internet shows us every day why. Like, even after you find the community of people, whether it's wrestling, basketball, whatever that you can relate to, like you turn it into something that is no longer enjoyable because you are baiting people or you are talking shit to people all the time. Or, for me, just don't respond. Just don't say anything to me. And sometimes I'm guilty of responding back and talking cash because fuck you. But in the other sense, it's not necessary. Yesterday I blocked 20 people because I was just tired of hearing that shit. And so when it comes down to it, I did find my community of people. And I have found, and people have found me that are absolutely amazing. And I found people that they basically have the same passion for this as I do. It's not anything where I have to make money or I want to be seen. I genuinely love to talk about it. And there are a lot of people who have pushed me or said things to me that have got me where I'm at, like being in front of this camera right now. Yeah, so I just want to shout out Kendra, Tristan Law. Please check out his YouTube. It's amazing. The Main Events Models podcast. They are doing amazing. Check them out. I've had a lot of solid conversations with some of these people, and I'm definitely thankful to have found a community of people who are passionate about wrestling just like I am. Gatekeeping and shit like that is not necessary. We don't need egos in this. I'm just here to talk about wrestling and just vibe with y'all. That's it. I'm not here to argue and shit like that. So sometimes one thing I do want y'all to think about is why the fuck are we arguing about things that we love because we don't agree? But that's the end of this week's episode. Please check me out on Instagram at Let's Talk Storyline and my personal page, freckleface_fee. And I will see you guys next week. Peace.
Go to war with all my people, multiply that by 2.